Hello and welcome to the final Elmhurst Discuss of 2025. My name is Jason Hewins. I'm the New Build Dwellings Manager here at Elmhurst. And I've got a couple of new faces on the Elmhurst Discuss today. So if we can just do introductions. First of all,
I'm Emma. I'm the team leader for the on construction team working with Jason.
Hi all, I'm James Gill, Head of IT here at Elmhurst.
and we just wanted to take this opportunity in this Elmhurst Discuss today to give everyone a roundup of where we believe we are or where we know we are with the Future Home Standard, SAP and HEM. And I'm going to take the very first, most obvious question, which everyone asks us. Where is the Future Home Standard? So it's December the 18th today. We do not have the Future Home Standard yet published. It's a bit of a long story. It's changed a few times this year. First of all, we are, as MHCLG said, we are committed to releasing the Future Home Standard this year. And then it changed into the coming months. And now recently it is early 2026. So no one has missed anything. The Future Home Standard hasn't yet been released. For the rest of the Elmhurst Discuss, we have a number of questions. Emma is going to present the questions out of our famous green envelopes. And myself and James will do our best to answer them for you all. So let's carry on.
Let's crack on then. So my first envelope, we have... How is the development of SAP 10.3 coming along? Who wants to take that question?
Yeah, I can make a start. Really good, actually. We've been working alongside BRE and we've got full approval for SAP 10.3. So we are ready to release that software when we actually get the timeline. And alongside that, we've also put some improvements in that people have been asking for. So we've done, you know, more of the detail of these, but we've done some mass updates to facilitate addressing, thermal bridging for user interface improvements.
Changes,
Remind me of the others.
PCDB changes.
That was the other one. So I think we're in a good place for 10.3. The software itself is the same piece of software. So there's not a new piece of software. We're just giving people the option when they're creating the assessment which regs they need to use.
Yeah, it looks good. It looks good. We've seen it and it's good to go. Right. Question 2. How is the development of your HEM application coming along?
A bit more complicated, this one.
It is a bit more complicated, yeah. There's more acronyms, isn't there? We've got HEM. We've also got ECAS, which is Energy Calculation as a Service. So the HEM calculation engine and the wrappers are open source and available, but approved accreditation schemes have to connect to ECAS. So that's our main focus. We've got an active project at the minute, and we're focusing on the data collection required for the Future Home Standard wrapper. We're focusing on communicating with the ECAS web services supplied by government. Braille generation, PCDB is also, so the boiler search, is also tied up with the ECAS services. So that's our kind of main focus and deliverable so that we're ready for the release of Future Home Standard.
What have I missed? Jason?
Yeah, I think it's just, it's been a very difficult year, hasn't it? Because we know HEM isn't quite there yet, and the version of HEM has kept changing throughout the year, and that has a knock on to what version ECAS uses. And then you've got the wrapper as well, which has changed a bit, and it's not fully public because government don't want to give away what is in the notional dwelling. So when we're trying to build a software interface and know what inputs you guys are going to have to enter, it's really challenging because we build something and then something changes and we think, oh, well, actually, did we build that in the right way, or do we need to move stuff around, or have we now got too many data fields in the section because there's a load that's been added in?
And we had quite a good working example at the start where one of the models was 2-zonal, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So we were planning for 2-zonal and we were going down that route, and then they did an update and we've gone back to
it's
one
changed,
zone. And then with the introduction of ECAS, we're kind of even further downstream because they do a HEM release, and then another government team have got to go and actually build web services to support the calculation for that new wrapper. So we end up having to wait for that before we can interact with it. So it's
lots of moving parts.
There is,
There is, and then there's the whole section of training and things which I know we'll probably come on to later. But assessors understandably want to know, well, of what all these new inputs are, when you're going to offer training, and how's the training going to work.
You don't know, might be one of my questions coming up,
okay.
so we'll wait for that.
No doubt.
So question number 3. How will the SAP and HEM softwares differ? Who wants to take that one?
I can start a bit on the software, and then you can maybe tie in with a bit of the
methodology stuff.
bit. Yeah. So we're doing a new piece of software, but it's going to be online. So it'll be very familiar for people who use SAP 10. And one of the other things we're focusing on is allowing people to kind of carry over as much assessment data from their SAP 10 data set into the new, we're calling it design. Have we actually released the name
Design
of it?
HEM for now.
Design HEM. So that's our new product is design. And we're going to facilitate people bringing over as much of the data from SAP 10 into the new design product.
Yeah, and that's become a little bit easier with what you said earlier, with going to a single zone model. When it was 2 zones, it was very, very difficult. We were thinking, how much data can we actually bring over? Now it's been slimmed down back to a single zone. Actually, it's a little bit more similar to how SAP models buildings. So we will be able to pull a lot of certainly things like the fabric data, your walls, floors, roofs, openings, thermal bridging. Most of that should be able to come through.
We think it's going to get more challenging at HVAC stuff, don't we? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, but as a scheme, we're working hard to make sure that transition's really easy for our members then, it seems.
Yeah, well,
the softwares.
Again, you've probably got a question on dual running, or we can talk about it here, but at some point, assessors are going to be modelling in both. So obviously being able to take a data set from one and plug it into the other saves a lot of people time. And it's what Elmhurst have always done as well, historically. So we're always committed to having that route from an older version into a newer version, even though this is a different methodology and a fresh start.
Anyway else they will differ?
Although we're trying to keep familiarity to a degree in terms of our general look and feel, there will be naturally some differences. There will obviously be more data fields in HEM because it's a more complex methodology, even though the Future HEM's wrapper has slimmed it down a bit.
There are some lessons learned from SAP 10 we implement as well, aren't there? Just kind of user flow and how people work through the software. So
based on user feedback, we've just improved some parts of it.
There is a couple of key differences which I will just highlight actually. So because HEM uses ECAS, so we don't build the engine, we have to call the government engine, and it's an infinitely more complex engine than SAP. Calculations won't be instant, whereas in SAP they're instant. So rather than slow everyone down when they're data inputting by constantly running that engine, which is what SAP does, for HEM, the assessor's given the control about when they run that engine. So you can type all your data in, then click calculate, see the result, rather than having to wait 5 seconds every time you do a data input, which would be really frustrating. Another lesson we've learned is around how the product saves data. So SAP 10 auto saves data when you move from section to section to section, and that was more of a security safety facility we built in. But actually, a lot of people like the option to just save data when they want, so they can quickly discard stuff as well. So HEM will move to that position where, again, the user's given the control with a save button as to when they save the data, and if they don't want to save any of their changes, they can just discard them all and throw them away. So they're 2 relatively small but quite big changes in terms of our architecture.
They're big changes, isn't it? Because people are very used to just making a change, seeing the result. But when we were talking it through, actually that's going to be really frustrating for people. So we need to give them the control to make a few changes, then say, I'm interested to see how that's impacted the results. So I think it's the right choice.
I'll just say with HEM as well, because it's more complex, it does come up in a lot of the training sessions I do. People always ask, are you going to be able to pull data in from different sources, CAD or IES, design builder, because they're doing Part O work? All we can say is we're very aware of that area and sort of watch this space for the future.
I think being pretty frank, we haven't been really good at that, have we? Allowing
not with SAP, no.
Not with SAP. And that is something we want to address and have an easier route for people to bring data from these third-party products. So it's definitely something we're going to work towards.
Perfect. Is that everything on that one then?
Yeah, I think so.
We'll move on to question 4 then. So this one is there any training I can do to get up to speed with SAP 10.3 and HEM?
Yeah, I'll take this one. Yes, in a word. In a word, there is training. So where to start? I'll probably start with SAP 10.3 actually, because that's the smaller, more simpler change that you guys will be having to go through when it comes out. We will be doing an on-demand CPD course for SAP 10.3 because it's a relatively small, simple thing to explain to users. It's the same SAP 10 software you're already using, just with a couple of very minor input changes, but a different notional dwelling behind the scenes is basically what SAP 10.3 is. So that is almost ready, actually. And I know that because I'm writing the course. So that will be ready very shortly, probably in mid-January, something like that. HEM, as always, is a bit more of a long story. So we've been running a course called HEM Theory since the summer. It's changed a bit throughout the second half of the year, as obviously HEM and ECAS and the RAP has changed. We continue to run that course. We'll continue to run it into the new year as well. And we will also probably make that an on-demand module. So if people don't want to take a day out and sit the course, they can watch it and complete it in their own time. What else are we doing? There'll be more courses.
I'm not
go on.
asking the questions, am I? But, so how does that work for people who are thinking of joining the scheme in the future? That's
a good question. So that was it was quite a puzzle for us, actually, thinking going forwards, we're going into this period of dual running.
Yeah.
So people will be able to use SAP and HEM at some point for a period of time. For someone that's new to the industry, what do you train them on?
Mm-hmm.
Do you train them on SAP? Do you train them on HEM? Do you train them on both?
Yeah.
Some people might only want to use one or the other, and we took a long time to figure out what we were doing for that.
Because it's not just 10.3, is it? They're going to continue using 10.2
because of the transition.
The transitional periods. Yeah.
I'm going to hand over to Emma to answer this one, actually.
Okay.
She's been involved in this.
Yeah, they took a long time to deliberate and decide what we was thinking we wanted to do with this. It's difficult, but we made the decision that ultimately, if you're going to be joining the industry as of next year, you will likely be doing both, so you need to be trained on both. So we're going to be developing a course. We are developing a course that will cover both SAP and HEM, and will give you the skills to be able to complete both assessments, use both software, and be fully competent.
Yeah.
Obviously, that's a lot of content, so watch out. You'll see when it comes out, but it's going to be a different format to what we currently see. But it's new and exciting. I think we've tackled it in quite an innovative way and made it fun, and I think it will be a good course.
Yeah, it is new. I mean, the domestic side, we've never had two methodologies running, certainly not side by side. So it was a challenge, but we figured it out.
Yeah.
Emma's doing some good work on getting that course up and running. Yeah.
No, so
that's for new entrants. I was also just going to comment about the HEM theory course we run at the moment. Is, as I said, it's mainly theory based. It's to give everyone a good grounding, understand the methodology, what the new inputs are. It's not really covering software because our software is not out there yet, but it will be. So we'll be doing other modules around the use of our HEM design, HEM application, lots of short videos as well. So it'll be a mixture of training, on-demand content, free, short, snappy videos, bulletins, guides.
Yes, exactly what we did with SAP 10.
The stuff we always do to guide our members through any change. Yeah.
We did technical bulletins, we did short videos on software use, and we did webinars and things like that. We're going to have all of the same content, but covering obviously all the topics that come up, and anything, queries that we're not aware of yet that are going to come out as and when.
Well, there will be.
We will be tackling them when we know them. So
there'll be HEM conventions that come along we'll cover as well. Yeah.
Yeah, so lots to do, lots going on.
There'll always be plenty of support there for our members, as there always is.
Yeah, of course. Is that everything with getting up to speed with SAP 10.3 and HEM?
I
think so. Yeah. We'll also do a course on the Future Home Standard as well, because we've talked about HEM methodology and SAP. We haven't said what we're doing training for Future Home Standard, so that's obviously a big change for the industry as well. So there'll be courses on what that change means for the notional dwelling. What other changes come out of the Future Home Standard, we'll cover that as well. And also, we shouldn't forget, actually, I'm going on, other regions are also on this journey.
They are, yeah.
So we know Wales have consulted on moving to HEM, Scotland have consulted on moving to HEM, Northern Ireland, they'll be moving to SAP 10 first, but they will no doubt go to HEM at some point. So we've got to make sure our training also covers members in those other regions as well, which it will.
Then following on from that, we're going to have EPC lodgement as well through the software, and the wrapper for that and the associated data could be ever so slightly
a little bit different.
So then we have to rinse and repeat all of that training out again, don't we, for EPC?
Yeah.
So it doesn't really stop for HEM.
It never stops.
It's exciting though, let's call it that. It's exciting. Right, question number 5. So a frequently asked question we get from our assessors is, my clients have questions on FHS and HEM. What can I tell them?
Yeah. What can you tell them is watch this space, really, unfortunately, other than we don't know when it's coming.
We're all working very hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's some things we're working on. Obviously, we just talked about guides and fact sheets and bulletins and things like that. So we want to produce some fact sheets for you guys as assessors to give to your clients to explain what all these changes actually mean. We want to talk about, especially with HEM, the kind of new data and evidence you're going to have to get from your clients to feed into the tool. Some of that is stuff they've never really had to supply to you before. For example, pipe work in domestic hot water pipe work information, ventilation ducting information. SAP, we don't really worry about that, but in HEM that will be something that we need more information from to complete. So there'll be fact sheets coming along, which you can obviously pass on out to your clients to explain what's going on. Any other frequently asked questions that we get other than when?
When? In the coming months, is that the current tagline?
Well, it's early 2026 now, but yeah. So I think the fact sheets are probably the biggest thing to take away. We're conscious that we speak to our assessors lots, and sometimes people ask me, well, who's telling the builders what's going on? So that's what those fact sheets aim to do. I personally also sit on some of the Future Homes Hub groups, and they liaise directly with builders, and they're hopefully going to work on a similar thing. They've said, like fact sheets, guides, sort of HEM where to start guides, so that information gets around the industry and they understand why you as energy assessors need this new information. And
obviously on our website we always have the latest news. So if we know something, you know about it because we put it out in our news articles. So always keep an eye on our news page. Yep,
definitely. Social media.
Yep. We covered that one, do you think?
I think so.
Perfect. On to my final envelope.
Last one. Wow. It's gone quick.
This one at the end.
Hardest one to open.
Trying to trip us up.
So, why are Elmhurst uniquely positioned to support assessors through these challenges?
Do you want to take that from a software angle, and I'll take it from a scheme training angle?
So I think kind of repeating myself ever so slightly, aren't we? But we've done SAP software for a long time. We know how the data should be collected, and we can use that skill set to apply it to HEM. So we can end up with a really user-friendly piece of software that people can work through, collect the data and do their day-to-day work. So I think we'll nail that part of it really easily.
As experts in the industry, we've been doing it such a long time, and we sit on all the right boards and speak to the right people. And
I totted it up in our support team that I oversee and Emma works in, that we have something like over 80 years experience between us in terms of this sector. So that's not just SAP, but that's building regulations, Part L, Section 6 if you're in Scotland as a whole. So we have been through this. I've been through Part L changes 3 or 4 times now.
We've got people in the building who have worked on 2012, 2005, 12, 10. And
10.3 in HEM. So we've been through it before. As we said, we're going to have loads of training, loads of guides, which we always do. And we, again, have always done for any change to support you guys, our members, through. I would also say we are independent, for want of a better word. You know, we don't have consultancy arms in here.
Compete with our assessors.
We don't compete with our members. We understand the industry you work in, and we have no sort of conflicts of interest. You know, we are there to support you and support your clients, and that is our aim. You know, there's no other hidden agendas or conflicts that we do. So we are neutral. We do try and support you as much as we can, and we'll continue to do so with this change and whatever else comes up in the future as well.
And I hope that our assessors can agree that when SAP 10 came along, it wasn't the easiest and smoothest sort of transition. No. But we took on everyone's feedback. We listened to our members. We made changes quickly. We've made many updates. We're still making updates. So we're doing a lot, and we always have done a lot to kind of address any of our members' needs. And we're here to listen. So, and our phone lines are always, well, not always open in working hours.
I think it's a good point there, Emma, isn't it? Like, it was a big change because we had a methodology change, but then we had a piece of software that people have been using for a long time, and that was kind of an installable product, and people were used to that. And then we went to an online platform, So I think we mentioned we're trying to improve the product, but at the same time, we need to keep it and want to keep it familiar so that it's easy for people to come from SAP 10 into the new design product. But we're not doing that step change from an installable product to an online.
No.
We're used to that. People have worked through that. And so, it's going to be an easier transition.
Yeah, and last time, obviously, it was a lot of people's in the industry's first time at a regs change. So people know what to expect now. So obviously, we're here to support that as well. And
I think a lot of the last time as well, we had major problems going through the approval process. And that's not just with the industry.
Yes.
Yeah. So no one's software was in a great state when it came out. It will be different this time.
Yeah. We know all the right questions to ask. We know everything. We've learned major lessons. Everyone in the team has been through this before. We've got a very competent team on the on-construction team. And not only that, our software team as well have been doing this for a long time. So in the industry, we have, like you said, how many years experience in the team?
It was something like over 80 when I totted it up. It was a lot. Yeah.
And you guys speak to us on a day-to-day basis. You know us all, and I think that's different to other schemes. That makes us unique. When assessors call in, they know our names. They know who they're talking to. They're familiar with us at Elmhurst, and I think that makes us different.
I just wanted to touch on one thing, actually. I'm just looking at a piece of paper in front of me, which gave me something to jog my mind when we were talking about SAP 10. So when we replatformed onto SAP 10, we did actually do a beta version before that on a desktop app.
We did.
Which we threw away.
Yes.
Because we knew we were replatforming. Yeah. But we didn't get the chance to give users sort of early sight or testing of that because of all the issues and the rush it was and the very short timeframes we had. With this, especially with HEM, we've got a bit more time to do that. So again, I'd say watch this space. The early version that we release to members, we'll take your feedback on and we'll be able to develop it in more time because it will be out actually before the future home standard becomes into force, which could be another year away from actually when it's released. So we're quite keen to actually engage with users more than we did with SAP 10, and the timeline should hopefully help us with that as well.
Yeah, and I think, like we said, within our unique perspective in the industry, we not only on the on-construction team, but our other people like Andy and people that go out and speak to building controls and house builders and other people in the industry that are not necessarily specific to our field, we get to then feed any feedback assessors give us to the wider industry. Yeah. And we're involved in a lot, like I said before, like a lot of groups.
Yeah, Future Homes Hub, NHBC, we speak to CABE, LABC, all these people are in the wider industry. We do speak to them fairly regularly, Yeah,
and advocate for our members. And yeah. That's all of my envelopes. Has anyone got anything else you think we need to tick off?
Can I ask you a question?
Maybe.
What's going on with Part O?
Well, there was a call for evidence. When was that?
In the Future Home Standard consultation.
But we're waiting to see what the outcome of that is. I don't think we'll see an update to Part O when we see Future Home Standard, as we did with the previous Part O with Part L 2021. I don't think they're on the same timeline anymore. But hopefully we will see an update. I think there's a lot of questions and a lot of cloudiness in the methodology. We certainly get a lot of questions about it on the support team. So I think as with everything, watch this space. As soon as we know anything, we'll keep members updated.
Yep.
We touched on the other regions earlier. We do have a bit more of a timeline for Scotland, don't we? They have said what they're working towards. We don't know if we're going to get there, but they have been quite ambitious with like an October timeline for next year, haven't
they?
For
EPCs, yes.
For EPCs, correct. Sorry,
For building regulations, they want to move to HEM. They've suggested 2026 or 2027 for the first release of that, coming into force in 2028, I believe.
Right.
Which sounds a long way away, but actually it won't be. It'll come around pretty quick because they'll need to get their wrapper sorted out probably next year to hit that timeline.
Yeah.
Okay. Brilliant.
Anything else?
No.
Nothing from my notes.
No.
Okay. Well, thanks for answering all my questions. Your insights on all of these were great, and thank you for watching.
Yeah. Thank you very much, and have a good Christmas, and see you in 2026.
Yeah. Thank you all.